All right, we are live. Welcome to the Buckeye Politics coverage of the first primary of the 2022 midterm elections. It's pretty epic. It's in the great base state of Texas. I have some good friends on here. We're going to be watching it live, and hopefully, we're going to see the Republican Party primary out incumbent Governor Greg Abbott. He's been solid on the issues recently, but that's mostly because he doesn't want to get primary. He's actually pretty crappy on the issues if you look at his history. We have some strong candidates running for the Republicans. The Democratic primary is pretty much solid for Beto O'Rourke. He is going to get 90% of the vote at least. But the Republican Party, that primary could actually get competitive. We have some solid candidates that are making the race probably a little bit closer than Greg Abbott would like it to be. So we will see what happens. We also have some interesting races for the Attorney General, Lieutenant Governor, and a bunch of just local House races that we'll be looking at. It's going to be a pretty epic stream with some of my good friends, including American Populist and Libertarian Zoomers. So you guys want to say hi, say what's up while I pull the map up real quick?
Aw, I'm a good friend.
Hello.
Oh, Populist Missourian is on here too. Sorry I didn't announce you just a second ago. Your mic was off, so I didn't want to All right, Populist Missourian's on here too.
Yep,
Honestly,
I
I'm
am.
just see what happens.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, just keep your fingers crossed.
Oh, I don't need to keep my fingers crossed. It's pretty obvious who's gonna win.
I'm cautiously optimistic. You know,
We just need to get him below 50%.
yeah, if we get him below 50%, then I think we have a good shot. But right now we're doing. I mean, there's literally one county, and so I'm not gonna say how well we're doing. But I don't know. What are your guys' predictions for all this?
Like margins or like just
I guess in general. I can go first if you guys want.
Sure.
All right, so I have Greg Abbott. I think as much as I really hope he gets under 50, I think it's kind of a wish cast. So I have Greg Abbott getting about 60% of the vote. I say about because there's really not been too good polling. All the polls are either like internals that show Allen West up by like 20 points, which definitely isn't happening, or they're just like Republican, more establishmentarian polls for the Republicans, which have Greg Abbott up by a bunch. So I think that Greg Abbott's probably going to still win by about 60%. I think Don Huffines is going to come in second. I think he's going to beat out Allen West. But yeah, I think it's going to be Greg Abbott with about 60% of the vote, Don Huffines with about 15%, Allen West with about maybe 15% as well. And then everyone else is pretty much meme candidates with no name recognition. So they're probably going to get like 2% of the vote. So I expect West and Huffines to each get about 15%, but Huffines beating West out by like a half a point or so, and Greg Abbott getting about 60%.
Yeah, I'll probably go next. I don't have any predictions on the other candidates, but I do know Abbott at least kind of well. I feel like he's going to get less than 60, like a little less, but not that much, like 55, 57, somewhere in that range, like a little beyond 55, but I think not 60. I don't know. Just got a stomach gut feeling,
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I guess that's my prediction as well. Although I haven't looked into this race as much as others.
Yeah, I haven't really been paying attention to this race. Like the last week or so, I've kind of looked into it a little bit more. But really, before then, I just considered it was a complete win for Greg Abbott, honestly. And I liked Don Huffines, but I didn't even think he had a chance. But I think he has a chance now if we can get Abbott under 50%. But even that's a pretty big wish cast.
Yeah, that's whatever. Like if it was Michigan or Illinois, I'd be interested in it. But like, I don't know. Like somewhere in the Rust Belt that would get my focus. But this, I don't know anything about the Rust Belt. I mean the Sun Belt, sorry.
Yeah. Well, this is an absolute slaughter for Beto O'Rourke right now. I mean, everyone running was a no-name candidate, so
yeah.
What, you're telling me that Bernie Bros wasn't gonna win?
Oh my god.
The project. This is on NBC News. His coverage of the race. Yeah, it's just NBC News. Look it up and it'll come up. All right, Populous Missourian is having some connection issues, so hopefully he'll be back. But until then,
how was he doing in San Antonio? What's his margin?
Beto has 94% of the vote.
Damn. How's Abbott doing? My friend just moved down there to San Antonio.
Abbott's got 74% of the vote with 62% reporting.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not looking too good so far. But then again, we literally have 4% of the vote in, so we'll see. Ooh, Zapata count. Oh no, that's not Zapata.
Hidalgo.
Abbott's up huge in here too.
Yeah.
A bunch of people were saying that Don Huffines would do very well in like South Texas with the Hispanics for some reason because he's more of a Trumpian and like that libertarian-esque kind of guy at the same time. So we'll see what happens. But
Yeah.
I've heard a bunch of people saying that they expect Huffines to do well in South Texas.
Yeah, he could also do better in the suburbs around like Austin, Houston, San
That's true.
Antonio, and Dallas. Because the suburbs like more libertarian-esque establishment.
Don
I
Huffines, no,
kinda
Don
think that-
Huffines is like he's like libertarian, but he's like not. He's super based. Like he's kind of like a Ron Paul type. Ron Paul actually endorsed him like a while ago. That's one of the big reasons I support Don Huffines. But he's kind of like Ron Paul, but a little more populist
yeah.
on some economics issues and social issues. It's more social issues. He's pretty libertarian in economics, but he is a little bit populist, but he's very socially conservative. So. Oh, so for those of you who don't know, there is a candidate named Rick Perry, but it's not the Rick Perry you're thinking of. It's literally someone else with the exact same name. So,
Yeah, no.
for the Texas Republican primary, it's not the former governor, I believe. It's literally just a guy with the same name. So we'll see. Yeah, politics made simple. Ron Paul did endorse Don Huffines. Rand Paul and Ron Paul both endorsed Don Huffines, and somebody else did too. He was super based. I can't remember exactly who, but yeah, if you look at the endorsements, like Greg Abbott got like Trump's endorsement, and I think like Ted Cruz's and a couple other random, like the top name politicians. But Don Huffines, in my opinion, has a lot more. He has way more. I think he has more endorsements than Abbott, and they're, in my opinion, at least a little bit more based. So we'll see.
I
What,
think Trump should have
happens.
endorsed him as well, but
Yeah,
Trump
should
makes
not have
some
endorsed
bad
Abbott.
endorsements. He makes some good endorsements. It's a wish-washy.
Yeah.
What's that county? Is that north of Dallas? That's a big one, I think. Collin County. Collin.
Yeah, Abbott's up. Abbott only has 63% of the vote in Collin County.
Okay, he's getting
right now.
15%. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's solid margins for this
Needs to do
small
much
county,
better.
Rockwall. All right, so far it's about what we expected. Then 4% of the vote is in. Another interesting thing to look at is in South Texas, the trying to remember the congressman from the 28th district. He's like a blue dog Democrat, and he's like a Hispanic blue dog. And the progressives have spent like over $1 million trying to primary him. So we'll have
Does that
to
mean
tune in
Shank from
eventually.
the Young Turks? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh my god.
What I think of when you talk about progressives.
Yeah, they had like AOC and Nina Turner down there, I believe.
Yeah, okay, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't remember. Oh, Henry. I'm gonna mess up his name. Henry Cuellar, or Henry Cuellar. I'm so bad with names. It's not even funny. But Henry Cuellar. He's from like Rio Grande, San Antonio, and he's like he's a Democrat, but he usually votes with the Republicans on abortion and gun issues. So he's a pretty based Hispanic, and the Democrat and like I think the like progressive Democrats have spent over $1 million hoping to primary him. So we'll see what happens.
Is there like House primary going on?
Yeah, it's all the primaries today. We have the House. Let's take a look at the House right now. Oh boy.
Oh, there's like hundreds of them.
Yeah, there's a bunch. Let's look at the 28th district. Let's see the one I was just talking about. Is it not the 28th? Oh, this is the Texas. Is this like the state house?
Yeah, I think this is State House.
Yeah,
Are you
probably.
talking about federal? State?
Yeah, I'm talking about the federal house. This is the 38th. Jessica Cisneros, the 20. Yeah. Oh, there's no votes in. That's why we're not seeing anything. All right, that's just me being stupid. Okay, we're good.
How's Beto O'Cup doing right now?
Oh, Beto O'Rourke, he's kicking ass. He has 91% of the vote.
Oh, it's over. It's Blue Wave now. LT's made
Look
his
at this,
prediction.
Beto O'Rourke. Blue Wave
It's over,
confirmed.
guys.
We have Dallas Blue.
No,
Look at
Denton
this.
County.
Denton County,
It's over.
95%
It's confirmed.
Democrat.
Blue Wave confirmed.
What percent of the vote is in?
About 13%. There's more. The Democrats have higher vote reporting than the Republicans do, though.
Yeah. Okay, don't think that I'm like getting off topic, even though I kind of am. I'm just curious. Are you ever gonna do like a potential swing state or like future battleground video ever again, or was like that?
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
So Those videos did really well, surprisingly. I would literally was
know.
just bored one day, and I was looking at like the extremely detailed like results, and I just kept going to trends from 2016, and I saw like some like Tennessee trending blue, and I was like, oh, Tennessee, what if Tennessee becomes a swing state? So I just made a video on it, and it did very well. So I made a bunch of videos on that,
Yeah.
and I am going to continue that series. Just I don't know with the midterms and stuff. I don't know. I want to do New Jersey and Hawaii, I think.
Yeah.
And I want to redo some of the other ones because a lot of the like some of the first ones I did like in Maine, like I think the Maine video had a lot of potential, and I think it's definitely going to be a future swing state. But like I was new to YouTube, and the video was so bad. It was like I made it in like Google Slides, and I was like reading
Yeah.
off of like a Google Doc I wrote like 5 sentences on. So it was really scuffed, but it did very well. So I'm probably gonna just redo a lot of those videos and definitely make more because those did very well, and they're fun to make, honestly. So
Yeah. Honestly, like I liked the Maine one. Like I'm really rooting for like Maine being a swing state. Just 'cause-
Maine's gonna be the next Republican stronghold, in my opinion. It's like 98% white. It's like
very
90%
pro-gun.
working class. It's like a bunch of people own guns. I learned so much about Maine politics from that one video. It's kind of
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Hawaii. Like I was looking at it because it's not even just since 2008. Because 2008's obvious, like Obama. But like before that, if you looked at the 2000 election versus the 2008, again, it was like national environment, but that was like a whole 10-point shift. Like
Yeah.
that's not even funny. So it was already trending, I'd say about 5% each election. And now it's still doing the same ever since Obama. It's like a 5% chunk trend each election since Obama. In the Obama days, it was more because, but yeah, I could definitely see like 2050s. Then it's like people will be like, okay, why is it like in a likely margin?
Yeah, true.
I
I could see it. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hawaii could definitely be like a future swing state, which is the name of the series.
Yeah, potential battleground.
And New Jersey, AFM has been begging me to make one on New Jersey since like I think it was August. Actually, he's been wanting to make a New Jersey future battleground. So that's probably going to be the first future battleground video. I don't know. Like I said, those videos are fun to make and like they do well. It's just I kind of been focused on other things with the more of a midterm and like I guess more policy focused. But honestly, my election videos do better than my policy videos, which kind of sucks because But I mean, I'm glad they do well. But like I honestly prefer talking about like more about policy and like philosophy than I mean elections are cool and all, but I think philosophy actually does more for like our country. But
true discourse in general, really.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like get your opinion out there. But those videos that I make, like they don't do very well, even when they're like they should be. So
No, the Cha-Cha slide, which gets 40,000 views, does
exactly. And then I make Richard Nick, and then I make. But if you close your eyes, Richard Nixon, and we get 30,000 views. So
Oh my god. Sometimes it's like ingenious. It's like the simplest things are just the most interesting to people.
Me pulling up from school, looking at me on the way home from school, looking at the Georgia presidential election results just on Wikipedia and seeing the huge shifts it takes. And I'm like, oh, it's kind of like the cha-cha slide. Like it slides to the left, slides to the right. So I get home and I take like 2 minutes to copy and paste the Wikipedia election results, and I add music. And next thing I know, I get 100 subscribers and like 40,000 views.
Yeah, just so you know, the second I got that notification, I already knew what was going to happen. I was like, fuck, now every single election YouTuber is going to do this. And I was right. Because then every single one started doing it. And I was like,
I'm still getting them and I recommended it. It's like, thanks to Buckeye Politics, credit to Buckeye Politics. I'm like, wow, I started a trend.
You
I'm
really
very proud of
did.
myself for that. But I mean, I get why people hate it. It's kind of cringe, but
it was cringe, but it was great. That's like the point.
Yeah,
it was like that weird like in between. Like you remember those like videos of those girls pretending to be ghetto, and then he found out that they grew up rich.
Yeah,
that's just kind of funny, but it's still like okay, a little weird, but whatever.
Yeah.
What are the results like?
Let's look back. So Don Huffines has made some. I say he's made some gains when it's been like a 1% change. Greg Abbott is below 70%. He was at 70% pretty much the whole time so far, but he is now below 70%. and Don Huffines is beating Allen West, which the polls didn't suggest. The polls all had Allen West beating Don Huffines, but I and a few other like conservative.
Those are probably internal polls. So
yeah, a lot of
those are hard to
conservative-leaning
trust.
election predictors, such as like myself and Real American, had Don Huffines beating Allen West, which it looks like that's going to happen. But we still only have 12% of the vote in, so it's way too early to tell anything. But honestly, I would call. The Buckeye Politics Decision Desks has called the Democratic governor results for Beto O'Rourke. I mean, we pretty much could have called that at closing time. I'm
hey
not
guys,
like one of,
populist Missourian is like seizing out in the comments.
I know. PM. I
Oh, yeah.
replied. I replied to your I have Twitter open. I replied to your message. Like you should check your Twitter. I don't want to say I lie of what he wants me to do because like that's kind of personal. But I replied to your Twitter, so just like literally just check that, and we can do whatever. I want to get you on here, but. So yeah, the Buckeye Politics quote unquote decision desk has called the Texas Democratic primary for Beto O'Rourke, which is not a surprise. He was gonna get like 90% of the vote, literally no matter what. And we don't. A lot of like streamers like myself do like a decision desk thing where like they fill in the states and it's so cool. And I'll probably do that for the midterms, but not for this. This is just me saying, oh wow, he wins. But yeah, we're not calling the Republican primary just yet. I still think there's definitely something there with
Wait for Houston and Austin to come in, then we can make a decision, probably.
Yeah. We need a little more vote to come in.
And the suburbs, too. Those are important.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Who would perform better in the general election? Greg Abbott, Don Huffines, or Allen West?
Don Huffines.
Yeah, in my opinion, Don Huffines, he's like populist on a lot of issues, and he's pretty socially conservative, which would help him quite a bit among Hispanics in South Texas. But he's also just libertarian and establishment leaning enough that he would still do decent in the suburbs. And because it is a red wave year and his name is not Donald Trump, he's gonna get like over 10. He's gonna win by like 10 points anyway. So. Allen West, I think they honestly would all do about the same. I have it like R+13, R+12 right now. Definitely could be. That's like the floor, though. I would not be surprised if Texas is like closer to R+15, like we saw in I believe 2010 or 2014. But we'll see. But like I think they would all do. They would all perform very similar. They all have the different strengths and weaknesses. So we'll just have to see what happens. But no matter what, the Republicans are going to win Texas by a safe margin in the general. You're concerned with the Texas 2024 Senate? I wouldn't be. Honestly, 2018 was a D+8 environment, and Ted Cruz still hung on, and he did absolutely awful. With with pretty much every demographic, especially in the suburbs. So, honestly, I would not be too worried about 2024 unless it's, and with Trump on the ballot, most likely, I think that'll carry him over the edge. So, I wouldn't be too worried honestly about Texas in 2024. Imagine saying libertarians are establishment. I did not mean that. I just meant that he has something to everyone. He's like, libertarianism is not establishmentarianism. Those are two different things. But Texas, a lot of the like panhandle types are more in like more rural areas outside of South Texas are more libertarian leaning, is what I meant to say. So they would continue to support Don Huffines. Meanwhile, Don Huffines, being socially conservative, would do very well in South Texas among Hispanics who are already turning way Republican. There's one map I saw that has Republicans doing like it's like all red across South Texas. They're like doing 50%, do even 100% better than it did in 2020 in terms of Republican turnout in that part of the state. So the Hispanic trend is real. And then I also think Don Huffines is just establishment leaning enough that he would do very well in like the suburbs of like Houston and Dallas and all that stuff. So. Yeah, libertarianism is not establishmentarianism. Those are two different things. I just compiled it together because I feel like I'm talking too much. So I want to let my guests come in for a bit.
Somebody wants to check the Attorney General results.
Yeah, we can look at that. Oh, we have a semi-competitive race. It looks like I have not looked at this like at all, but it looks like Ken Paxton is beating George P. Bush. Is he related to? I'm assuming he's related to the Bushes.
I would think.
Yeah, I would assume so. So we actually have a competitive attorney general race, it looks like, with Ken Paxton, the incumbent, doing very well in the Dallas suburbs. But there is still a lot of vote to come in, still only 12% reporting. Democrats also have a semi-competitive race, it looks like. Like I said, I've done zero research into the attorney general race. I don't really know what's going on. I'm more focused on the governor and then some of the competitive House races. But, yeah, we'll see. Oh, that's Jeb's son. Okay. All right. So George P. Bush is Jeb Bush's son. So he should win every vote. He should win Texas by he should get 100% of the vote. This is fraud. Ken Paxton. This is all fraud. It's all George Bush. George Bush. He's gonna win the entire state.
So I got a question. I'm just curious because I think we all saw CPAC, right?
Yeah.
How do y'all feel about Tulsi Gabbard? Do you think she should just make the switch by now? Like, I'm sorry, I think she really should. Like, it's real now. It's fucking real. Like, she's clearly a Republican at this point, or at least some like libertarian leaning one, like a weird liberal version of Rand Paul.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really. Tulsi Gabbard's weird, honestly. She's like not. She's I don't know. She has some really questionable statements back from like 2016 on like abortion, which you being more libertarian leaning, you probably don't care about, but me more conservative leaning, that's like my biggest issue is abortion. So that's like her one cringe take. I do agree with her on a lot of foreign policy stuff and even some domestic policy. She's really cringe on guns too. So she's not. I would if all the Democrats were like Tulsi Gabbard, I think the United States and the world would be a much better place. But I don't know. I think if she switches to be a Republican, not only would she switching to be a Republican help make the Republican Party more populist, but it would help us appeal to a lot more independents and like more moderate voters out there and more like former Bernie Sanders types, which the vast majority of like 2016 Bernie supporters, like who aren't super left leaning, support Trump now anyways. But you know, Tulsi Gabbard, she's good on some issues. Like in some issues, she's really solid. But on others, she's just super cringe. So, but I do think her switching to the Republican Party, as long as she doesn't like really run for anything, I think if she just kind of like switches and like campaigns a little bit with the GOP, I think that could be a net positive if she would win over some more independents. But overall, I think it'd be much better if she was just still a Democrat, but just was like a more open-minded Democrat. But
what I think about this is that if we're going to welcome somebody into the conservative movement, and I mean hard C conservative, then you have to be on our team on all issues. The fundamental issues like abortion, gun rights, these are non-negotiables. Like, if you want to do that, go be a libertarian then. But that's my thing. You shouldn't be at CPAC then, if you haven't made up your mind. But that's because I'm more hardcore.
I was going to ask about like DeSantis Gabbard 24, like if what you guys would think that would go.
Oh, I would support that.
Really?
I don't know. I don't know enough about Ron DeSantis in terms of his like foreign policy and economics. He's like, if Ron DeSantis was for sure 100% like protectionist and all that stuff, then I would be a big supporter of him. But we don't know that much about him. I mean, DeSantis is solid on a lot of social issues and some economic issues. Like he's okay. I think I would definitely vote for a DeSantis Gabbard ticket all the way. I'd volunteer with them in Ohio and I would support them in terms of like on this channel and I would vote for them. But I don't know. I still prefer Trump over DeSantis just because like one of my biggest things besides abortion and guns is protectionism and foreign policy. So I mean, they would be good on Tulsi Gabbard would be good on foreign policy. DeSantis, I don't really know his stance on foreign policy. When he was in the House, he had some really based votes in terms of like protectionism and foreign policy, but he has some other kind of cringe ones that make him look like he may support some aspects of free trade, which is an absolute no-no.
Oh, Houston County just came in.
Yeah, a few counties are really pouring in now, and it looks like Abbott is slowly losing ground. But then again, he's still at like 68% of the vote. So
just need him under 50.
I know.
Just need the 50 to get a runoff.
Yeah.
Is that also between both Don Defiance and Alan West, or is that just for
no? It's just the top two. If he gets, it would just be if he gets under 50%, it'd be top two.
How well is he doing in Harris County in Dallas?
You mean Houston?
Yeah.
He's at 15%, which isn't bad. That's actually that's solid. Actually, he could, and there's only 50% of the vote. And if Huffines gets over 15% in Harris, and he holds on to this 15%, then I think he's in a really good spot.
We need to change Harris County's name just because of Kamala Harris.
Yeah,
honestly,
that should be a vote in the Republican Party, a platform.
Yeah,
I would be.
We need to change the name of the county to something based. I don't know, like a Texas County or something. That would be based, actually.
Or it could just be Houston, Houston like there's County. Los Angeles County. Yeah. There'd be a Republican county. It would just make things a lot easier, too. It would, make more sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Texas, it's probably called Harris County because that's who founded it or something, but it just sounds weird to me.
It does.
Brandon County.
There you go. I like that. Let's do that. That should be.
Yeah, I'm all right with that. Honestly, that's pretty based.
Brandon County. Let's go.
You a paleo conservative book guy? I'm getting there. I wouldn't call myself necessarily a paleo conservative. I have some really populist economic views, some populist economic views. I'm still mostly economically conservative, but I do have some economic populism views, and I also have some libertarian views on social issues. And
Like
but
what?
overall, I would say I'm mostly a paleo conservative. I'm pretty far to the right. I should say I'm pretty far to the right. I'm definitely a paleo conservative on the vast majority of issues. There's some issues that I do consider myself to lean a little more libertarian on, but overall, or in terms of social issues, and more populist on in terms of economics. But overall, I would have to say I am definitely a paleo conservative. I'm somewhere between paleo conservatism and like paleo libertarianism. It's kind of weird. I don't really know because my like social views are pretty much in line with paleo conservatism, but my economic views are kind of all over the place. So like I have some really libertarian economic views, but I also have some super like populist economic views. So I'm kind of in the middle.
Yeah, I'm somewhere between like Joseph de Maistre and Pat Buchanan. Somewhere very far on the spectrum, on the authoritarian right side.
Yeah, I'd say I'm somewhere between Ron Paul and Pat Buchanan, which is kind of a weird mix, I'd say. But if you understand those two, if you know enough about those two, that's really not a huge like leap. But I'm somewhere between there.
Oh,
Like I
how's
said,
doing in the Panhandle? Let's check out those counties.
what was that?
The Panhandle
pan-
counties.
Yeah, we have Carson
Right.
County. Abbott is doing. Oh, Don Huffines is in third in this, fourth in this county. That's
Oh, Allen
not good.
West is
That's
doing
not good.
better. Okay. That's not great.
Hutchinson. All right, Don Huffines is in second, but they're still pretty competitive. And more Don Huffines, yeah, it's pretty competitive in all these counties. That's surprising. I honestly thought Don Huffines would do well in the Panhandle, but
Look out for Porter County. That's the biggest city in the Panhandle.
I don't think. Yeah, Potter's not in yet.
I forget what the city is called.
Amarillo.
Amarillo, yeah, Amarillo, Texas. Because I thought people said he was supposed to do better in the Panhandle.
I heard that Huffines was supposed to do better in South Texas and maybe some parts of like the Panhandle, but I don't know.
Check the Democratic primary because someone says Diaz is leading over O'Rourke.
I think I think
Yes.
you're
Okay,
I think
you're
what
probably
you're
just
seeing is
memeing
fake
there,
news, my
but-
guy.
It doesn't matter though. But it's
Yeah,
pretty funny to
Beto
watch
O'Rourke's gonna lose
Beto
by like
O'Rourke lose
13 points
again.
anyway.
Although I don't know how this guy is able to raise so much money in Texas. It's kind of cringe, honestly. Probably because of all the Democrats moving to Austin and San Antonio. I think we should also rename Harris County to like a Soy County. That would be
Soy
so
County?
based.
That would be pretty
We need to
based.
do that. Soy County, Texas.
Bush is in third now.
Boy.
This is sad.
Democratic. Nobody cares about the lieutenant governor.
Yeah, Dan Patrick this wasn't even going to be close, honestly.
I think Dan Patrick's okay.
Yeah, Dan Patrick's good. That's why I said it wouldn't even be close.
Yeah, but could you imagine though if you ran for Texas House and you just said, "I'm going to rename Harris County to Brandon, and I'm going to rename Harris County to Soy County"? How much votes you would get? Like, just imagine that. People just aren't creative, though. They just aren't creative. They're not doing the real policies that we want, like changing the county names. That would be so based. I would call it Soy County because of all the soy shops in Austin. Because
There are a lot.
It's just very soy. I mean, very estrogenic.
That's true.
It's just a fact. I mean, have you ever been to Austin?
I've never been
been.
to Texas, unfortunately.
I heard it's like San Francisco, so that's good enough for me.
Well, it's where all the Californians are moving, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Austin and Colorado.
Yeah. Colorado's like I even saw like I was watching a YouTuber from like Denver. No, it was like Boulder, but still doesn't matter. And she was like, "Guys, I'm gonna need you to stop moving here because like you're driving the housing prices up. Like
Yeah.
I can't even afford to live here anymore." So
Isn't it great that we have Californians who can just flood states? It's just amazing,
Honestly, I
isn't
swear
it?
to God, like let's all be honest with each other. Californians are like roaches. They destroy
Oh
their
yes,
area.
let's
Yeah, oh,
go.
yeah,
They
definitely.
completely
Thanks.
waste all these resources. No, it's true. They're fucking pains in our ass. They waste all these resources. They destroy their place of living, and they're like, "Fuck it, let's go to
They're
these good
disgusting.
places that
Yeah.
function." And then they go there, and then they're just like, "Now we're gonna do something called fucking the rest of this country up." And then you do that,
So
and then
true.
Obama's like, "Hey, I was born in Hawaii, allegedly. I'm gonna go to the White House, right?" And he brought Chicago politics to DC, and then fucked this country real good. So now we don't even know what the hell's going on. Somebody's teaching these kids about fucked up shit they shouldn't be learning about until at least high school. Critical race theory should at least be banned until college. Like, I don't know. I feel like if you brainwash kids under all this liberal shit, because and truly, I think it does stem back to the West Coast. The Pacific, other than Alaska, have been, and Alaska not because it's Republican, Alaska because it's just so desolate, nothing's came from there. Like, nothing. So
They have a
like,
lot of oil and gold.
yeah, and they have that too. Well, their gold
Well,
was
that's
mined
because
up
it
a
used to be
lot.
part of Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was called Russia and
And
America,
salmon.
but
Alaska's
when
actually
they
a really
bought
base
it,
state.
yeah. Alaska's just chill because they give us resources, but like, California's only there because like Hollywood. If we didn't
California is
have
a
that,
negative on our society. All they do is produce propaganda, soy. What else
and
do
then,
they do besides that?
well, here's the thing: they bitch about wanting to become their own country. Like, imagine, like, if I was president, I'd be like, okay. They'd be like, what? And I'd be like, yeah, be your own fucking country. I don't care. They'd just be like, well, you need us. It's like, no, we don't. We really fucking don't. Like, we have West Coast states. They're not good, but we have at least Oregon and Washington. We don't need you.
Yeah.
Go. Like, get
Like
the hell out.
California, they always say whenever we talk about that argument, Californians always say, "Oh, well, look how much GDP we generate." But like GDP, that's like, and I think the whole GDP argument for anything is bullshit. Because like, honestly, how much of the GDP really goes to your average American person? Like most of it
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
ends up like
California is one of the
in
most
government
like
programs.
misused, like funded states ever. Like, how many projects have been just like pocketed by the people in
Yeah.
office in California for their own enrichment? Like, how many times has that happened? Like a billion
Probably a lot.
times.
I don't
Because
know.
how corrupt they are.
We have
Honestly,
results out of Potter. Out of Potter County, which is Amarillo, Greg Abbott has 73% of the vote to Allen West's 9.3, and Don Huffines 8.8%. So nothing really interesting. Harris County, Don Huffines is at 15.8% still, and although not much of the vote has come in, so we'll have to see. San Antonio, Allen West and Don Huffines are basically tied with 9.4% of the vote. In Dallas County, Don Huffines is at 12%, beating out Allen West.
We'll have to see how Denton comes in.
Yeah,
That's the
Tarrant
county
County, Don Huffines is doing very well in Tarrant County and Harris County. He's at about 15% of the vote in both those counties. So we will see, but
Yeah, but then all these Californians who want to move to our states that are actually run good and that people actually want to live in, and they want to vote for the same people who made their state shit.
yeah, that's what really pisses me off because some of them come out here to Illinois even, right? And here's the thing, Illinois is like our economy is already fucked, so it like can't get any worse. So I don't give a shit about that. Like we're already fucked here with economics, but at least we were like socially moderate on the grand scheme of things. The farmers were socially conservative. The suburbs were kind of like socially conservative-ish, socially moderate. And like the south side of Chicago was socially conservative and the north side was extremely hyper socially liberal, right? So we were pretty moderate. But now all these Californians are coming to the suburbs and shit for cheap prices. And like all of them are saying shit. I like all these terms. Like I found like the only reason I know that there's like, you know, supposedly more than two genders, which isn't biologically possible, but that there is more is like because of them. Like a Californian came to my school and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like those are the only people coming in here anymore. Everyone else is leaving. And they're going, like my friend, Texas. Like my other friend, she moved to Florida. My friend, you know, he moved to North Carolina. Another one moved to Indiana. People are leaving. They don't want to be here. It's only Californians, New Yorkers, and people from Maryland.
how do you still have friends if all of them are moving away? You name like
I
5
don't.
Well,
people.
everybody's
I'm
moving
all
out of
alone.
Illinois. Illinois is like one of only 3 states is losing population.
Yeah, seriously, I don't. Like, I literally don't. All of them moved away. Like, all like 5 of my closest friends in my childhood, like the physically closest one I have is in Dixon, Illinois, and that's like that's where Ronald Reagan was born, I think. So it's like, pretty
Big East.
Republican. Yeah, it's pretty Republican. So like, and she's like my best friend, so it's great that we're like close. But she's just like, dude, I'm pretty pissed off because like I'm away from all my friends. I'm like, well, you know what? Good news, they all moved down to Texas anyway. So like,
Dude, check out Williamson County. That's the county above Austin. How he's doing there?
Alan West is beating out Don Huffines.
That's
Although
not
Abbott
good.
has said Abbott's doing very well in Williamson.
That's the county that Trump lost, but I believe Republicans held that county before 2020, if I'm correct. It used to be a Republican suburb
Yeah.
of Austin.
Take a look at the lieutenant governor and attorney general. Yeah, Dan Patrick's race isn't even going to be close.
Yeah, it's not even worth talking about.
This race could be interesting. It looks like Mike Collier and Michelle Beckley might have a little bit of a competitive race. We'll see, though. I don't know anything about these people, honestly. I've been mostly focused on the Republican primary, so we'll see. The attorney general, though, let's see how Jeb Bush's son is doing. Oh, he's losing. He's losing pretty badly. That's all right, though.
By double digits.
That's okay. Just like Jeb. Who is Louis Gohmert, who isn't even in the like top 3 in polling, is apparently winning like 5 counties. So it's pretty.
That's probably like a county error, though.
Yeah,
That's
or
that
like
happens
it's
a
like
lot.
very early in, and it's like just the retards who need to go to sleep early. It just depends.
Yeah, Illinois is a weird state because losing population, yet somehow Chicago Chicago suburbs are gaining population. It's really weird. I don't understand what's going on.
I know. I don't get it either.
It really perplexes me with how much of a state it is.
Like, here's what I got, because I do have cousins that moved from Southern Illinois to Tennessee, and they told me, they were like, we just can't stand living in this state. We have a shitty governor. We have a shitty Senate. Especially with Duckworth and Durbin typically winning that shit now. And so they're getting sick of it, so they moved. And yeah, no, I think it's just Southern Illinois realizing they're like, fuck, man, we aren't even going to be competitive for like decades, so why even wait? So they just move. Like, they're sick of this shit, Like, that's the only theory I got.
Yeah, because also they're heavily taxed as well.
Yeah.
So in the 28th House District, which we talked about earlier, is actually a race that's in the big picture probably it doesn't really matter, but the progressives just really hate the incumbent Henry Cuellar. I don't even know how you say his last name, to be honest, but Henry Cuellar. He's like, as we said earlier, he's a blue dog Democrat. He's Hispanic. He usually votes with the Republicans on things like abortion and gun control. So he's actually pretty based, in my opinion. But the Democrats nominated Cisneros who's a progressive, to try to primary him, and they appear to be succeeding actually with the progressive candidate getting 51% of the vote to the Blue Dogs 43% of the vote. But then again, only 46% of the vote is in. But still, as of now, it looks like the Democrats may be on their way to successfully primarying out one of the few remaining Blue Dogs in this country. So.
Yeah, they've been pretty successful at doing it, actually. All the moderates in the Democratic Party are gone at this point. You have to be radical, essentially. Yeah. It's like the opposite in the Republican Party, though. Yeah, like Chicago is, I don't even know how it's gaining population because there's like no jobs there except if you're like
it's gaining
highly college educated.
No, it's gaining population because all these, okay, I'm gonna fucking say it. The thing about the black community is that the Democrats have screwed them over so much, basically enslaved them, got them on welfare, stuck on that shit. It's like you gotta pump out as many babies as possible so you can get like a really fat check. So, like, now it's like this whole fucked up scenario. Like, if you ever go to Cook County, never go to the south side of Chicago. Ever. Just please, even West Side. Don't fuck with West Side either. Stay in the Central Business District. Stay by, like, whatever. Even Boys Town, Chicago. Stay the fuck away from there. Just not even the gay shit. Just, like, in general. It's pretty bad crime rate, too. But like if you stay in the tourist shit, you're good. But the second you step like, I'd say beyond like 45th or maybe like 50th, I don't know, somewhere there, you know, if you hit 63rd Street, you're fucked. That's all I know. That's all I know. At that point, you're screwed. There's no turning back. But yeah, no, Illinois is this crazy state now, especially Cook County, because it's controlled by that shitty ass county, which I'm glad I'm out of. It's, oh God. There's a lot of traumatic shit that's happened over there. So yeah, no, the hate I have for Cook County, that might qualify for like a whole video of mine in and of itself.
Yeah, I think we should just like
Definitely.
separate Chicago from Illinois, so the two halves
That's
can
what
have
I
their own votes.
said.
That's what we should do.
Yeah, I suggest that we remove Cook County, because if you do that, Illinois.
I would just give it to
I mean,
Canada. I would support that.
No, Canada doesn't even want that shit. No, we should just make it its own state. Lori Lightfoot's always like on her fucking high horse about like, oh shit, like Chicago's what makes Illinois Illinois. Like we bring in the shit. It's like, okay, go for it. Because if we removed Cook County and just made it this, you know, state of Chicago, and then just kept Illinois, we would technically be right leaning, but it would really just be a swing state.
It'd be like R+5, I think.
It would be like safe Democrat.
No, if you took out Cook County, Illinois was R+5 in 2020.
Yeah, it really, Illinois is like, it's really just like Republican, and then, you know, suburbs purplish to blue, and then Cook County makes it solid. Like that's it. So yeah, no, I would want my vote to matter and count. So I'd really
how's he doing in
appreciate
that big county in the west of Texas? That
in Pecos County, Greg Abbott is just 72% of the vote.
Chad Parker is doing better in that county.
Damn.
Yeah. We also have results out of Tarrant County. While you guys were discussing, Greg Abbott is actually underperforming. I think everyone's expectations in Tarrant County. Don Huffines is doing very well in Tarrant County, so we'll keep an eye on that throughout the night. And all the vote has kind of stopped coming in at about 50% in. So I'm not sure what's going on with that.
Stop the steal.
Yeah.
Stop the count.
Yeah, it's looking like, I think Don Huffines is, I think it's way too early to really like say how well overall he's doing. There is only 34% of the vote in.
Austin hasn't come in yet either, so we have to wait to see what the margin will be there. Although I assume they're just all going to vote for Greg Abbott because it's all establishment Republicans.
Yeah. I think overall, Don Huffines is doing about as well as we expected. I mean, honestly, I don't think anyone really expected this race to flip, but overall, there is some hope. He's doing very well. And
he could still get 50, although
a lot of these panhandle counties, Don Huffines is doing pretty well in. Similar story with Harris County and now Tarrant County. So if Don Huffines can just keep this margin, he can hold his margins in the more suburban counties, and he can just do more. He can do well in the rural, more panhandle parts of the state. Then I could possibly see this race possibly getting close to 50%. I mean, it's a long shot still, even with that, but definitely it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility at this point. So
I'm going with my original take at the beginning of this shit. I'm saying 55 to 57 in the long run of this. I don't care what anyone says. He's probably going to get a little above 50%, like at least 5% above 50%.
Yeah, I think it's a long shot. We get him under 55 even, but I mean, then again, like we're saying, any chance that Abbott gets under 50, I think it's possible based on the results we've seen so far, but it's very unlikely. The numbers are there. We need a lot of good numbers to come in now.
Yeah, the rural areas have to like come in big for that to happen.
Yeah, so
because the cities are going to vote overwhelmingly for Abbott.
Yeah, so it's definitely possible. The numbers are there that we could possibly see Abbott lose, but there's just so much we don't know that it could just as easily completely flip and he could win by a huge margin. So we will see, but it's definitely looking like that we have a chance at getting this race under 50.
No, I understand what you're talking about, Libertarian Zoomer, with like the cities that have been run by Democrats for like ages just going to shit.
Yeah.
Because I used to live next to Orlando, which is like very segregated city, of course.
Yeah.
And if you go down certain parts of the city, it's just like downhill fast. It's just everything is bars. There's like gunshots.
Yeah,
a very bad part of town, drug addicts. It just goes to shit.
Like if you look at Chicago, we got the south side for the blacks, the west side for Hispanics, and then like the northeastish part for like the whites, and then we have like a gay neighborhood, and then part of like the west side is like Italian village. Like there's different sectors of like ethnicities, so it's like Italian village, Ukrainian village, Greek town, Chinatown, like all these different. Like it got really bad in Chicago when like in like the 60s and stuff. So like yeah, that was fun.
No, but just like once you go down like the neighborhoods that are safe, it's just like drastic with how nice they are.
Oh, totally.
Compared to just like the rest of the city, which is just shit. It's like a war zone.
Oh, totally. Like
it's just so drastic.
Like here's the thing: since we started this live stream, because I don't live far from Cook County, I'm pretty much right against it. Like since we started this, I've heard like at least 5 different groups of gunshots in the distance. Like. Like I know that at least 2 motherfuckers are dead. Like,
do you live in the suburbs of Cook County?
I'm like in a town right against it. Like, but I'm in DuPage, like narrowly. And Boston Zoomer asked, so I was like, oh, I'll give him an answer. I live in a county right against Cook, but it's like in DuPage. So I've narrowly escaped hell, you know.
Yeah, I never lived in the big metro, although I lived in like suburban, small city counties. That's where most of my experience comes from. So I'm glad I haven't lived through like a really big city where all the people just get shot all the time.
It doesn't matter about the size. It matters about the cunts in power. And let me tell you something. Lori Lightfoot is the biggest one of them all. She pisses.
Are we sure she's not alien? Are we sure about that?
She looks like Beetlejuice, motherfucker. She is fucking creepy, bug-eyed bitch. Like, I'm sorry, I gotta say some shit. She is fucking crazy. Nobody likes her. Not even the liberals here really like her. It's like that's why AFM had a point. Like the last time we talked about this Chicago shit on the stream, that's why he had a point. Like the only way to get her out is through the primaries, because the liberals will not vote for a conservative, but a lot of them really don't want her. They don't like her. She's not a preference. You need to get someone good in the primaries. That's literally it. Like, if, like, back to a Tulsi Gabbard shit. Like, I don't like, I mean, I'm good with Tulsi Gabbard. Like, if she was a Democrat nominee, I'd be interested. But, like, I don't know. If she was running for mayor, I'd definitely, like, endorse people supporting her. I'd be like, okay, guys, now's your chance. And I think they would, too. Like, nobody likes Lori Lightfoot. It's just that she's the best option because Chicago politics are corrupt as fuck. And then you have these spiking crime rates that always happen every single year. And by the way, if you want to visit Chicago, visit, like, not during the hottest day of the year. Like, just saying. Because, like, not just because it's, like, hot and you're going to get fucking sweaty, but because that's typically, like, the heaviest crime rate day for some reason. Like, it's always, like, the hotter days of the year. It's like come during winter. We have like great stuff going on in winter. Let me read some of these comments.
Yeah.
No, I have not seen the LTE Senate prediction, but I'll watch it now real quick. We'll see. I'm sure it was awful, but
that's true. Michelle Wu was worse, but still, we could do better than both of them.
Well, honestly, Chicago just needs like I guess a conservative Democrat. But I don't even know how you put that.
No, wait, hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up. LTE put Pennsylvania as lane blue.
Of course he did.
Hold up.
We're taking a quick break from the results, and we're gonna pull up an LTE. You're gonna pull up LTE's video.
Of course.
Oh my fucking god! No, he didn't. He couldn't have.
I swear, everyone who lives in Maryland is a DC swamp creature. I just swear, it's just
dude. I swear to God, I hate Maryland. I like not even just for like the shape of the state, like just for the fact that they're just gerrymandered as fuck. They're pieces of shit, and they're like the Californians of the East Coast almost. You know. Like, all
right, real quickly, we're gonna drop this. We're gonna drop the results for like 2 seconds and pull up the LTE, the LTE video.
Oh my god, this fucking! I want to kill myself. This is awful. If this is actually true.
No, he said.
Oh my god!
Arizona was lean blue because the Republicans had a bad candidate. That's what he actually said.
Look at Illinois versus like Washington or like Colorado, and look at like Wisconsin versus Georgia. Like
why is Wisconsin tilt?
Why the fuck is
It's
this? Oh
lean.
my god, this is a stroke.
Wisconsin's closer to likely than it is lean.
Yeah, and then like they have like all this shit going on. Why is Nevada that way? Like, I'm sorry, like I love red Nevada, but there's no way like Nevada tilts and then like, you know, Pennsylvania's like lean and North Carolina and Georgia are like, you know, lean red. I'm sorry. This is fucking cursed. This is like an abomination. Like, Jesus Christ. There's so much I got to say about this.
I think Dems will get Wisconsin and hold the others. What?
This is the shit we're dealing with.
By the way, of course,
how does
he's
this guy?
Well, you know, just look at that. It's always the case. There's a connection.
Who wants to vote for Buckeye and LTE to switch the amount of subs? Because I feel like YouTube's kind of wronged both of these channels. There's no way.
The reason LTE is successful, and I swear, is because YouTube promotes him everywhere. That's why he's successful.
That's totally true.
It's a conspiracy because YouTube promotes him everywhere, even if you don't watch his videos.
Maybe like Susan Wojcicki. I don't know. Maybe she's like, you know, got like underhand money from him or some shit. You know, under the table. Like
maybe his friends are actually related to Joe Biden. Like I think.
Maybe he does live in Maryland, and that's like pretty close to Delaware and Pennsylvania.
No, he lives in Prince William County, which is basically DC Metro.
Yeah, no, that's great. He's definitely got connects. I'm sorry to break it to everybody.
Yeah, he's going to Harvard right now, so he has money. Oh yeah.
Oh, what a fucking whore. Harvard. Oh, this bitch. Anyone.
How is this guy getting to Harvard?
How is he like? It's like he's smart, but he's retarded at the same time. You know, it's like weird because he'll be really like, because you're smart enough to go to Harvard, but you're stupid enough to make, you know, LTE videos.
That's because he's a midwit. Honestly, he's not smart enough like us to understand politics. No way.
He's not as enlightened as us.
True.
It's just so true. It's always the case. The midwits. It's not 90%. Like
we do have results out of Austin now, guys. By the way,
what's going on in Tarrant County? Like, sorry, not Tarrant County, Denton County. Why is it taking so long? What's going on there? Rigged.
This is stolen from Don Huffines.
This is some bullshit.
You remember that time in Atlanta for the Senate elections when it was like Cobb County didn't come in? And they were just waiting on votes, and they said they had to count more votes. Do we remember that?
No, I do.
I do. That was weird.
That. Yeah, you remember the water main? We've all forgotten.
I don't even remember the water main.
Oh, that was so funny. In 2020. That was a night.
2020 was fucked. 2020 was so fucked, man. Like, I don't even care. Like, I'm like I don't believe in all the fraud shit, but it was so fucking insane. Like stuff you'd never expect to see, like ever. Like logic would tell you otherwise, you know? Like crazy stuff. The fuck is going on in tech? Well, how is Abbott winning all the counties so far? There should be at least one different color. Especially
I don't know. He was always doing very well, so
he's popular, but like
it's very weird.
He's popular, but it's like he's popular, but like, you know, aren't people getting sick of his shit in Texas? I mean, come on, like everyone else is outside of Texas. You'd think, you know.
You would think
at some point, you know, because like remember 1976, remember that election where it's like, holy shit, like people just voted someone out just because of how shitty they were. Obviously, it's like Nixon was corrupt, but it's like still, it's like, you know, or 2020, but like you'd think it would be the same for this, you know, how like shitty someone is. Like just Abbott, I'd want out. I'm just saying, I don't get how he's this popular still. How he's at like 60.
You guys want to take a quick break from the results and watch the State of the Union?
I
Oh,
guess.
fuck it. Sure.
We need
Let's
some
do this
AIDS in
shit.
our life, so let's go ahead and do it.
All right, we'll pull up
Yeah.
the beginning. It should be beginning about right now. So everyone in the chat, we are
Yep.
going to take maybe a 15-minute break or so, not too long from the results. Not much has come in the last 10, 15 minutes or so, other than a couple of rural counties. So we'll give it the map a little more time to update, and we will watch very quickly the State of the Union, just at least the beginning.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear how
Yay.
Hitler is going to invade Europe. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
And how it was just
Can you all hear
Trump's
me?
fault.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Fuck.
I ain't just
Wait.
Buckeye. Buckeye, can you hear me?
Hello?
What was that?
Buckeye, can you hear me? Okay, yeah.
Defense Secretary are important figures, but at a time like
We'll
this,
turn it down
they
just
have
his
become
head.
the core people that he's been interacting with and talking to in the last few days. And I will also say, talking earlier about sort of President Biden having to connect with people and tell a story. People who have covered Joe Biden know he can tell a story.
Of course you have a Ukrainian flag.
Because
How about an
of
American
who he
flag?
is, but also because of his own life experiences, having lost children, having lost a wife.
Okay, can you hear me? What's going on?
Yeah, I hear you.
And try to empathize
Because
with people in a way that
what was his name again? Left.
Libertarian Zoomer left, yeah.
Apparently he couldn't hear you or something.
Former members of the House or have been, they're kind of embracing their colleagues. And
He's back.
Sheila Jackson Lee, really talking to lots of folks. On
Sorry, I got a phone call.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Get into the mix there.
And those assigned seats are being unassigned.
Oh, MTG in the background. Did you see MTG?
Yeah.
Thank you. I want to thank all of our panelists, all of our guests and reporters who have been with us. Our special coverage continues right now with an NBC News special report.
Janet Nolan. Oh.
1 year into office, facing massive challenges at home and abroad. On the
That-
domestic front, record inflation causing prices to rise, and the president's approval
Hey,
rating to
remember
drop.
those mean tweets on Twitter? Wasn't that worth it, guys? Just have the country
Yeah.
go to shit? Remember those mean tweets? Those
I'm
mean
glad our
tweets,
feelings-
guys.
All this as the nation tries to emerge
It was
from
worth
a
it.
pandemic that's taken the lives of nearly 1
Fuck
million
the
Americans and widened political divisions.
Who needs
With the
jobs
midterm
when you have
elections
your
only
feelings
8 months
good?
away, the
True,
president
true.
That's right,
sharply divided
suburbanites.
Congress in the House
Fuck
chamber tonight
y'all. You don't
as
mean
he makes
shit,
his
you
case to
working class
lawmakers
assholes.
and the American people that the State of the Union is strong.
From
Uh-huh.
NBC News,
Really?
President Biden's
It's
State
so
of the
strong.
Union.
It's
Live from
so
Washington.
strong.
Here are Lester Holt and
Okay,
Savannah
liars.
Guthrie.
And good evening from Washington. I'm Savannah Guthrie here with Lester Holt. In just moments from now, President Joe Biden will enter the House chamber to give
Remember that
his
character
first
from
official State of
GTA?
the Union address.
Yeah.
And it
Called
comes
Lester.
at a moment when the world is in crisis and on the precipice. Russia has invaded its neighbor Ukraine, shattering peace in Europe.
I know,
and
it's hilarious.
unleashing A massive assault
Could you
going
mute it for a
brutal
second? Because
by
I want
today
to give a
ground
point
in
about
Ukraine
Ukraine
tonight.
real
As
quick.
the world waits
Just mute it for a second. NATO's been encroaching on Russia's territory since the 90s, so it's not like Ukraine is innocent either in this conflict. And again, this conflict wouldn't be necessary if the West wasn't so eager to spread its influence to Russia's borders. That's all I have to say about that. So they're not innocent either.
All Biden had to do to prevent this shit was literally just go meet with Putin and be like, listen, motherfucker, we don't want shit with Ukraine. We don't want to start tensions up. We don't want to be at your doorstep. We get your concern. We're not going to get involved with Ukraine.
No, he should have just said Ukraine won't be a part of NATO.
They won't.
all
That's
they
what I'm saying.
wanted.
Like
We could
they
have
won't be
avoided
part of
this,
NATO.
of course.
They won't be part of NATO. That's what I mean. Like they
And
won't
now
be
they're
part of
pushing
NATO.
for Ukraine in NATO.
Insurrection is back with National Guard troops on standby. I want to go right to NBC's chief White House correspondent, Peter Alexander. Peter, good evening.
Lester, good evening to you and Savannah. To be clear here, President Biden's aides say there is no
I just love that
question
you're reading your own
this is a
comments from your
different
own
speech
stream.
than
I
Well,
should
I'm
do
just
that
putting it up
next
on the
time.
screen so if anyone comes on, because
one of
they
the
know
most
what we're doing.
consequential periods
Okay.
of his presidency in the midst of
You should just,
the
like,
Russian
pin it to the
invasion,
banner.
only days
That's what
after
I'm doing.
announcing his pick to be the first black woman on the Supreme Court. This
Wow,
is
that's
a
so
high-stakes
cool.
balancing act. Ukraine, I'm told, will be a dominant theme.
Hey,
The
Stephen
president
Breyer, how you
demonstrates
doing there, you
leadership on
selfish
one of the
little
greatest threats to European stability.
self-centered.
And
Yeah.
to deliver a rebuke to Vladimir Putin for what he will call a premeditated and
I agree.
unprovoked
College-educated
war.
whites
And
are
we
a big
just
problem in
learned
our
tonight
society.
the
I
president will
totally
announce that
agree
the
with
U.S.
that.
will close its airspace to
I don't know.
Russian
I think it's not
aircraft.
really the college
Still, his
educated
challenge
whites,
this
it's
season
the
at Geopolitical
college
is, you know, just at an
educators
all-time low.
that
That's
are being
true.
dicks.
Dissatisfied with
It's not
paying
the because they're just
crime,
being
immigration,
brainwashed. The
and inflation.
educators are the
Look
ones
for
doing the
him to
shit. And if
express
you look at
empathy
the
with those
who's
economic
funding them, the Chinese are funding all these fucking things. So you got to really look at this.
And I'm gonna be watching
The
his
Chinese
tone
are
tonight
funding a
because
lot of
it's
these
deeply divided
high
countries.
Ivy League
Officials
colleges and
here
all
are
that.
previewing what they
You know,
call a
someone should talk
unity
about that a little
agenda,
more.
focusing on priorities
Just
that have
saying.
been
Well, they send their
long
students to them all the time.
partisan. And
Yeah.
also in Savannah, just moments ago, we learned that the designated survivor during tonight's State of the Union will be the Commerce Secretary.
I'm gonna make three predictions for the speech. Number one, he's gonna blame everything on Russia. That's why our economy's gonna go to shit. Number one, first prediction. He's gonna say inflation is because of Trump or something like that. Republicans. 2, 3, it's not his fault that everything's going to shit. Those are my
Yeah.
three predictions for the speech.
There's no way he'll apologize. Is someone wearing a fucking Ukraine button?
They all are. Do you not see the Ukrainian flags?
Hold up.
Darling?
Like, everyone's holding Ukrainian. I just didn't believe people would wear buttons. Like, that's where like I draw the line.
People are worried that what is happening to the second city in this country could be the fate of Kiev.
All right, I don't want to real quickly before the State of the Union begins. NBC and several other news outlets have projected that Greg Abbott will win the Republican primary.
No shit.
No one's surprised by that, and we still may have a slight chance, but Greg Abbott is actually doing improving in his margins in places like Harris County and Tarrant County. So unfortunately, it's not looking like we're going to be able to pull off a win in Texas, at least tonight.
I just want to say one thing to you Republicans who live in the suburbs. Fuck you for voting for Greg Abbott because you're idiots.
Fucking cunts.
Stupid suburbanites. You ruin everything, honestly. You're the reason this country's going to shit. Is because of you.
Fuck the suburbs.
Stupid suburbanites, honestly. They're so pretentious people, arrogant.
Hell
they piss me off.
Oh, here we go. Guys. No, we missed it.
What?
Missed what?
And Richard,
We missed the fun.
Hey, Joe, do you know where you are? Joe.
Joe the hoe.
Quite a few minutes.
Hey, yo, it's Joe.
Often does. He'll greet some of the members of Congress, the assembled guests.
Yo, Buckeye, AP wants on the stream.
You guys want AP to come on? It's up to you guys.
Sure, let him on.
Sure. Why not?
All right. AP, you can come on. They're feeling nice today.
Data or something.
We're starting to see that return to normalcy. We want to bring in NBC's political director and moderator.
Hey Joe, why did you leave Afghanistan like an idiot?
Does he like know he's there? Like, look in those eyes.
Bro, look at those eyes. Is that an alien?
That's
Is
what
that
I
a
said.
lizard?
He's not looking too good.
He looks very sleepy.
Certainly felt the pain and some of the soul-crushing moments we witnessed.
Bro, look at those eyes.
Right?
Is
That's
that
what
a
I'm
lizard?
saying.
Is that a lizard person? I swear to God.
No, that's just a dementiated old fuck. That's what that is.
I swear, I'm going Alex Jones here.
Partisan audience. You know, the past few states of the union, that very much you could almost feel, you see it.
So we're the lizard people.
Nope, it's just an old fuck. My grandfather lived in a nursing home. I saw lots of them. He fits right in.
What's going on in Ukraine?
Jesus Christ, Joe needs to go.
The president has an opportunity to talk to some
That's a
people he
rhyme to
hasn't
chant on
perhaps been
Twitter.
able to
All right,
talk
see
to
you,
him
Boston
about.
Zoomer. Thanks for
That's
coming
the-
on. Tell Nick
Yeah.
I said
The
hi.
course of the speech is to see if
Hey Joe,
what he
do you
says
know where Ukraine
penetrates
is? Can you point to it on the
He's had
map?
a hard time
No, Joe,
Probably
it's not a
can't.
full suit.
getting
He probably can't
Hello?
point to Earth on a map.
Hello?
I do think this is his wheelhouse.
Yo, what's up?
This is what he has, in some ways, been preparing his whole professional life
AP
for.
has a stream in the background.
In Europe, so
Can you hear me?
We have yeah, we can, but the stream's in the background, so you're echoing.
It's like ear rape.
Okay, yeah.
Andrea, our chief foreign affairs correspondent. I mean, this is a moment for history. This is a moment where the president is likely to talk about the forces for democracy versus the forces.
The forces for democracy. I cannot think of a more cringe statement.
Look at the bitches in the back.
As we see the president handing the speech, the text to the vice president.
Back of the bus
course, and the
hose.
Speaker of the
Hey,
House.
are you going to rip up the
He's
speeches
hoping
this
that
time,
all the
Pelosi? Oh, no, you're not going to
criticism
do that
he
this
did
time.
not move quickly enough to arm Ukraine will now be resolved because they have taken decisive action.
Okay, hello.
Yeah, what's up?
Honor of presenting
Wait,
to you the President of the United States.
Let's go, Brandon.
And Savannah, this could be a
I
rare
bet you there's going to be
moment of
5 gaps in the
bipartisanship.
first
He's
10
hoping
minutes.
The
I'm
kind
going to
that
bet
he
it right now.
remembers. Bipartisanship.
Let's go,
Where's your
Brandon.
gaps?
Politics stopping at the water's
Oh
edge.
god,
on
this is
foreign
gonna be
policy.
awful.
it's very blue and yellow out there. already in that crowd. You can see there was
One
a lot
second,
in
let me
yellow
just do
among
something real
And they're
quick.
wearing pins, the Ukrainian flag with the U.S. flag.
Guys, Don Huffin's conceded.
Yeah.
Thank you all very much.
Okay.
Libertarian
I can get through
Zoomer.
this. Yeah.
How's your day going, man?
You know, it was going good, but this will probably define how it ends. So, you know. How about you?
Good.
It's going pretty good. I'm sad that Abbott won. Fuck the suburbs. You're idiots.
Yeah.
Madam Speaker.
Okay, but what's so bad about Abbott?
He's just a
Because he's not strong on the border. That's what's problem with him.
Yeah, that's yeah. He's not strong on the border, but the mask mandate thing, like, not a lot.
COVID-19.
It was only DeSantis and Abbott who
we're finally together again.
were strong.
Hey, Joe, you said you were going to kill COVID. What happened to that?
You said you were going to cure
no.
cancer, you old fuck.
COVID's still going on. Oh, wait, we forgot about that already.
Independence, but most importantly, as Americans, with the duty to one another, to America.
He looks like he sucked on a lemon.
To the Constitution.
Guys, what would you do if Biden declared war on Russia?
Will always triumph over tyranny.
I would
wish
listen
the
to
nukes
Marines.
would hit every single city in the United States. Just the cities, though, honestly.
But Russia isn't that
Well, that's
bad.
where
Like,
they'd
it's a
hit.
good country.
Here's the thing. I would just enlist the Marines, like put all my chips in. If I have to get drafted, I'm going fucking in. I'm getting in the shit.
No, I'm not fighting for this government.
Russia's Vladimir Putin sought to
Nah, I want to say I fought in the Marines.
Oh,
Maybe I'd
right. He just talks about Putin, right? Why is he hate? What is so bad about Putin?
Badly miscalculated.
Well, a lot of shit. But we shouldn't get involved in that. It's this
Worse than
country.
Zelensky. He's better than Zelensky.
I'm not going to argue
That's because
that.
Zelensky's a Western puppet, but that doesn't mean either side's good in this conflict.
Zelensky's a warmonger.
He's a dictator. What the fuck? Like,
Yeah, he is.
Zelensky.
Sorry about that.
Wait, who's a
Back now.
dictator? Zelensky is.
Literally
yeah,
Well, they
both.
both are,
Both.
honestly, but
Groups
because
of
they're
citizens
both other oligarchs.
blocking tanks with their bodies. Everyone from students.
Hey,
to
you remember when he
retirees
told
and teachers
Zelensky to send people to
turned
attack
soldiers
Russian tanks
defending
and they just
their
got blown
homeland.
up because of how much of a piece
And
of
in
shit
this
you guys
struggle,
are?
President Zelensky said
Oh,
in his speech
well,
to the
stop
European
talking about that.
Parliament, light will win over
Oh,
darkness.
Zelensky's so good, guys.
Ukrainian ambassador
He's
to the
such a
United States is here
hero.
tonight.
Yeah, you just send these kids to throw Molotov cocktails at tanks as they get blown up.
Able to stand and send an unmistakable signal to the world. To Ukraine.
let's go, Brandon.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hey, Joe, are you still getting money from Burisma? How's that going?
Probably. Maybe.
Libertarian Zoomer, what are your thoughts on Doingus?
Doing this? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't really
I think
care.
he's a funny guy, honestly.
Here's the thing. He's humorous, and some of his tweets I can agree with, and others are just way too like borderline racist, but also just like too far out there and too conservative for me to like agree with. So it's kind of like whatever. Like once he starts like shitting on people's mental health and like suicide, that's where I'm like, okay, that's actually fucked up. But other than that, not really in my head that much.
That's what he did to populist to Missouri.
Missouri, yeah. I think so. I couldn't even watch the rest of that.
Yeah, we weren't really even watching it, so we'll just switch back to the.
Yeah.
Oh, these are so. Guys, I have New York Times if you want me to pull it up.
Yeah,
Honestly,
New York
NBC has been
Times.
solid, so I think we're gonna stick with this for a bit. But
yeah, NBC has the best maps.
Yeah. So like I said, it looks like all the races have been called. According to the AP and not AP, like the AP.
I called it.
Not this AP, the Associated Press, but
As we all know from 2020, once the AP calls it, it's final. Their word is final on everything.
Yeah. Still no result from Denton County. That's interesting.
That
Probably like
Let's look at
100%.
the Russia, guys. Let's look at the Russia-Ukraine map. That'd be interesting.
Oh my god. Okay.
Sure, let's go to a geopolitics stream.
Yeah.
I can't wait for no. There's these people there are these mappers who are making the Russia versus Ukraine war, and people are like, oh, I can't wait for the 6th day. Oh, I can't wait for the 6th day, the 6th map. when
Like,
Russia.
what the fuck? Like, dude, like, I'm just praying for Ukraine at this point. Like, they're going through a lot of shit, man. Like, I'm praying for the people, not the government, but, like, the people.
I don't think we should allow the people into our country because it'll just draw more targets.
No. I'm
for us.
okay with allowing the women to come here, but that's it. I'm okay with
Yeah, the
actually.
women.
The women can come. That,
And
I'm
children.
pretty pointing
that's
section
fair.
to that. The
The
women
women
can
and
come.
children can come
I'll
here.
allow the women to come.
No, just the women. We only want the women here, honestly. We're gonna be sexist here, but that's just because. That's because they're hot. I'm gonna make the exception.
Hey yo.
Everybody. I'm on everybody's target. Right now
Why?
on Twitter.
What did you do?
He
How old are
supports
you?
Russia.
Wait, hold up.
Are
How
you
old are
13?
you? How old are you?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
12.
That's why.
I'm
That's
13.
why. Any 13-year-old on the internet will get. When I was on the internet and I was 13, I said stupid shit or I said smart shit. Either way, people will just be like, "You're 13, fuck you," and then everyone would hate me. So
No, me and Red Lion, like all of ET hates me and Red Lion. All of election Twitter, they just hate me and Red Lion.
well, yeah, because here's the thing: everyone there supports Ukraine. I don't support anybody, and
I'm
that's that.
neutral. I just like Putin. I'm just neutral. But I like Putin.
I only like Putin when he respects the United States. When he doesn't, then it's like, okay, fuck you. And right now
that's
he
good.
isn't.
Because
I
hate
honestly
our
don't
government.
care because our government's not that good right now because of Biden.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like respecting our fucking power, like just knowing when to sit
We're
there.
a declining power. Did you notice the
Yeah.
dog guy who's in charge of our nukes or whatever?
Yeah.
The tranny
Like
who's in
energy,
charge
I
of our
think.
military.
Oh my fucking god, that's right.
Yeah, we're declining power. We're declining
Yeah,
fast. China's gonna take over. That's who.
No, actually, I saw this one video on the internet, and it was like China's not going to be like a superpower because here's what's going to
Their
happen.
birth rates are like going way down.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like their birth rates are plummeting. Like because they're
We
90%.
still have 1 billion people though.
Because
Dude,
you're
but-
only allowed
no,
to
but
have
here's
like
the thing, you
one
don't get
baby.
this.
You're
China
only
is a-
allowed to have like one baby in China. I'm pretty
Well, that's
sure.
not the case anymore. They have a 3-child policy now.
Yeah, and you want to know why? Because China's a fucking sausage fest. It's 90% dudes. Like, there's no way. Like, their population is gonna just plummet for a bit, and then it's gonna be at like 600,000, not 600,000, sorry, 600 million. Like by the end of our lifetimes, I bet, or something. Because it's just mainly old people still living, like that are the main chunk.
I'm not gonna lie. I miss the days when the U.S. could just send a troop to a country and end a war because of how powerful they were.
When has that ever happened, AP?
Yeah, when has that literally?
Okay. In China, they were invaded Taiwan once. It was like in the Clinton administration. Clinton.
What?
It's
No
true.
way.
What?
No, but bullshit. Pull it up.
I'm not lying.
That's
Send it in
only
the chat.
because we had nukes.
What?
Yeah.
China didn't at
When
the time.
did
Send in the
China
chat.
invade Taiwan in the
Send the
90s?
chat.
No.
Send the
China was
chat.
No, they had
threatening- China
military
was just, like, flying
exercises. I
over
know what he's
ships.
talking about. They had military exercises towards Taiwan, and
Oh.
we
Yeah,
sent ships in, and
Bill
they stopped the
Clinton,
exercises.
and then Bill Clinton sent a couple airships or like
Airships.
Airships.
Airships. Sorry, I think you're wrong there.
Send the
It was,
airships.
They just sent a couple like troops over there, and then they just stopped invading. But now they can't. They don't have to do that.
Oh my god.
Hey, look, it's Joey Diaz. You remember him on YouTube? It's Joey. Do you remember him from Prank Bros? Oh my god, I'm going so far back. Oh, it was such a good time on YouTube. I miss those days.
Thoughts on Red Lion?
Honestly, here's the thing. I don't know much about him. All I know
He's
is
only
that
popular
He's
because
a
his
based
name is similar
Russian.
to Red Eagles.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was
he
gonna
says
say.
divisive stuff.
It's like
He's
get
just a based Russian.
just bring red and then whatever the fuck animal you choose, and then boom, you just get popular. It's true. It's fucking.
I don't
look
like
at
having
them.
animals as the PFP because there's furries, and it's just too close to furries.
That's true.
Yeah,
honestly.
furries are fucking. They're like the low hanging fruit of the kink.
Blue furry politics. No,
Oh,
it's blue
oh.
fox
Ah,
politics.
remember that shit. Jesus.
Greg Abbott retweeted him.
Oh my god.
You remember when Greg Abbott
Greg
retweeted
Abbott
furry?
retweeted blue fox politics.
Yeah.
Oh,
See,
We
this is
deserve
where
to be
I
destroyed,
would.
honestly.
Let's go
This is where-
EWA in chat.
This is where I'd take my Second Amendment right when it's supposed to be used and shoot myself in the fucking head. This is awful. Like, is that seriously what happened? He retweeted.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah, he
find it.
did.
Oh my fucking god, we are so screwed. We are screwed as a country.
Oh yeah, we're doomed. We're so.
Like,
I'm a
I
doomer
had
at
this
this point. Our
lingering
society's
hair.
doomed. It's over.
I had this hair of hope for this country.
There's
It's
no
just
hope.
fucking
It's over.
burned.
It's just
Oh yeah,
over.
no. I mean, that's how dictatorships start. They, destroy. They shatter your hope.
I mean, did you see that dog fetish guy? Ugh.
Which one was
Our
that? There's a lot
government.
of those on Twitter.
No, the one who got appointed by Joe Biden.
Oh,
Dog fetish guy.
Guys, you know that probably 30% of Zoomers are members of the LGBT community.
That's because of propaganda.
I would
Yeah,
not. I would not be surprised.
Like, you don't know how much propaganda there is in public schools for that shit.
Because naturally, in
Okay, go back to the speech, but just mute it so I can scream at Joe Biden for 5 minutes. It's funny.
Real
Go back to the
quickly,
speech.
this is what I was talking about.
Yeah, no, it should only be 2%. I don't think it should be 30.
What
Oh,
are
please
these
don't. We
precinct
don't need to
maps?
see
They
the
look so
furry
ugly.
again. We don't need to see
No,
that.
Greg Abbott verified. Blue Fox Politics.
Oh my god! Kill me, God, please! End me, jeez.
Blue Fox. Okay, he should honestly be in jail.
We need to ban porn
No
from
shit.
society. Porn needs to be banned. It's a threat to society.
Furries need to
How
be in
so?
concentration camps.
Because how do you get furries? It's porn.
Okay,
That's how you
yeah,
get
but
furries.
but you could just ban furry porn, which I'm all for. But
No, ban porn in general. All porn is bad.
How
because
does
it
it? It's
inevitably
just
leads
sex.
to that.
Just put all of them in concentration camps.
No, you're gonna get the stream taken down. Don't
Hey,
say
yo,
that
we do not
shit.
support putting anyone in
Oh my
concentration camps.
God.
AP is literally
AP
12,
is
doesn't
wrong.
understand
AP, we
anything.
do not endorse nor support anything AP has.
We
to
are
fucking say on this
Zionists
stream,
officially on
okay?
this channel. We support the state of Israel.
Okay,
Put the Israelis in
I
the
had-
concentration.
I had a secret
Don't say that
relationship with
shit.
one of the
You're gonna get your
Israeli
channel
government
banned.
people. Israeli people are good.
Yeah, I don't
love
mind
what-
the Israelis, honestly.
No,
AP
Buckeye, go back to the speech so I can scream at Joe Biden. Go
All
back. I could call him out on his hypocrisy. Go back to the speech.
Don't ever
No,
say
but
that.
all porn leads to furry porn because when you inevitably engage with that addictive substance, you inevitably need something more strange to get the same high. So it keeps leading you down that aisle. So that's why we need to ban all
So
porn.
wouldn't it? So here's my thing. What about sex addiction? Just in general, should we criminalize just sex? I mean, I don't want to turn this into a debate, but I want to hear your point on that.
I'm saying we need to ban all porn websites and access to it.
Why
You
though?
can't stop it all, but you need to ban that because it's so detrimental for society.
But why? I don't There's
Because there's
people you can just
furries out
not
there.
watch
That
it.
should be enough.
For
for a
American
reason.
populace,
Okay,
it's
but
not
you
going
could
to
just
change
ban
anything.
being a
People are still
furry.
going to send pictures of themselves.
Okay, but that stops people from accessing porn in the first place, which leads you down that road to becoming a furry. So if we stop that, we stop that production. You stop people
And
from becoming that.
pornography is just it's defined as
It's an addictive
material.
substance.
It's
extremely
material of sexual whatever the fuck, right? So it's technically even if you sent nude pictures of yourself, that's technically classified as pornography.
Yeah,
That's
but we
why,
need to ban the sites, and that also stops
Yeah.
child pornography too, which is on those
Libertarian
sites.
Zoomer, aren't you bisexual?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
That was that a gotcha? Was that a fucking gotcha?
Oh, can you play it just a little bit so we can hear Sleepy Joe?
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
I
there's
wanna
the
hear
turtle.
what the fuck is
We don't
going
like him either.
Guys, I think that Poland should own all of Europe except for Russia.
How about this? Everyone just in Europe shuts the fuck up and lets Russia do what they gotta fucking do.
Yeah,
That's-
Russia should just take all of Europe.
Europe is a bunch of
Except for
wimps.
Poland.
That's why Europe is a client state of America. Europe
Dude,
is such
seriously,
cucks.
the only reason why NATO is still standing is literally because the United States is still there. If we back the fuck out, that fucker would collapse in weeks. It would be done. I'm just saying. Maybe we should...
Buckeye, could you turn the volume on just a little bit so we can hear what he's saying?
Sounds like he's whispering. Can't hear him.
I can't hear him, Buckeye.
Can Buckeye hear us?
I can hear you guys.
Buckeye?
You can't hear it?
Okay. Turn the speech up just a little bit.
It's
I can't
at
hear
full
what he's
volume.
talking about.
Oh my god, that's bullshit. Okay.
Guys, everybody
we're on
say
the
be
stream.
careful, AP, in constant in the chat.
Okay, did he leave?
No, I kicked him.
I think he left. Oh, thank God. Thank God. If he was going to get on like that, camp shit, I was going to be like, really, dude? Like, like that's where I was worried for like your channel's ability to exist.
Like maybe when you try sharing it, you have to like click the audio. Maybe you just didn't allow the audio to share as well.
Hello.
AP,
Okay.
shut
I
the
won't say.
fuck
I
up.
won't say anything about the.
Yeah.
Just don't even talk
please.
about that.
All right.
Okay, there we go. Now we can make fun of Sleepy Joe.
Because we know when the middle class grows,
Brandon.
middle class
Back at it again.
poor will way up and the wealthy do very well.
That's why the middle class
America
is
used to have
dying
the
right
best
now,
roads,
Joe.
bridges, and airports on Earth. And now our infrastructure is ranked 13th in the world. We won't be able to compete for the jobs of the 21st century if we don't fix it. That's why it was so important to pass the bipartisan infrastructure law. And I thank my Republican party who joined
Oh my God, he's
to invest,
fuck Booty
rebuild
Joe.
America.
What's a filter?
The single biggest investment in history.
No, I just say things like they are. It's funny.
It was a bipartisan effort. And I want to
Wait,
thank
what's a
members of both
filter?
parties
Is
who
it
worked
like
to
they
make it
censor
happen.
you?
We're done
No, he's just
talking
only
about
saying cuss
infrastructure
words.
weeks. We're now talking about an infrastructure decade.
Oh, got that.
And look, it's going to transform America.
What the fuck do you mean
Put
by
us on
that?
a path to win the economic competition of the 21st century.
That is
We're faced
terrifying.
with the rest of the world, particularly China. I've told Xi Jinping it's never been a good bet to bet against the American people. We'll create good jobs for millions of
Have you
Americans,
seen our
modernizing
military?
roads,
It's a good bet
airports,
to bet
ports,
against
waterways,
America.
Look at Cruz.
and we'll do it to withstand the devastating effects of climate change and promote environmental justice. We'll build a national network of 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations.
Oh my
Begin to
God.
replace the
Dude,
poisonous
shut the
lead
fuck up.
pipes so
Great, we're
every
gonna have
child,
windmills
every
everywhere.
American has clean water to drink at home and at school.
Then take the fucking fluoride out.
How about we do like
We're gonna
thorium-powered nuclear energy? Idea there.
Provide affordable, high-speed internet for every American, rural, suburban, urban, and tribal communities. 4,000 projects have already been announced. Many of you have announced them in your districts. And tonight, I'm announcing that this year, we will start fixing over 65,000 miles of highway and 1,500 bridges in disrepair.
You sick fuck. Like,
Folks,
that's gonna be in my neighborhood. Experience.
when we use taxpayers' dollars to rebuild
Oh my-
America,
That's my
we're gonna
shit.
do it by buying American. Buy American
What?
products. Support American jobs.
We actually mean by this, buy more Chinese products.
The federal government spends about $600 billion a year to keep this country safe and secure. There's been a law on the books for almost a century to make sure taxpayers' dollars support American jobs and businesses.
Like train
Every administration, Democrat or Republican, says they'll
PMS.
do it.
The results
we're
got
actually
called.
doing it.
Abbott and
We'll buy America
Beto
to
both
make
were
sure
projected to win, and they were both
everything
up by
from the
like
deck
huge
of an
margins.
aircraft carrier
So
to
we
the
switched
steel
over
on
to the State of the
highway
Union. So
guardrails
that's
is
about
made in America from
So you missed a
beginning
lot,
to
but
end. All
the
of
race is pretty
All
much
of it.
over. Abbott's gonna get like 70% of the vote. Looks like he's up by 69% now, and Beto has like 95% of the vote.
But
So
folks,
yeah, we switched over.
to compete for the jobs of the future, we also need a level playing field with China and other competitors.
They became more
That's
dependent
why
on
it's so
China.
important to pass the Bipartisan
Yeah,
Innovation Act
love
sitting in
China.
Congress that will make record investments in emerging technologies and American manufacturing. We used
Fuck
to
you, you
invest
inside
almost
trading ass
2%
bitch.
of our
Fuck you.
GDP in research and development. We don't now. China is. Let me give you one example why it's so important to pass. If you travel 20 miles east of Columbus, Ohio, you'll find 1,000 empty acres of land.
Is that
It won't
true?
look like much.
I
But if
guess.
you stop and look closely, you'll see a field of dreams.
What?
The ground on
What
which
the
America's
fuck?
future will be built.
He
What's
reminds
the
me of like an
Intel, the American
urbanist,
company that helped build
honestly.
Silicon Valley, is going to
You can
build
get that
We have
same
empty
shit
lands so we can
$1
make
billion
more cities.
semiconductor megasite. Up to 8 state-of-the-art factories in one place.
Oh my god.
10,000 new jobs. And in those factories, the average
Hey,
job
it's
is
Sherrod
about
Brown.
$135,000 a year.
Yeah, your
Some
time
of
is
the most
up, buddy.
sophisticated manufacturing
Keep smiling while you can.
to make
Time is almost up.
computer chips the size of a fingertip. The power of the world in everyday lives, from smartphones, technology, the internet,
Technology is literally killing us.
But that's just the beginning. Intel CEO Pat Gelsinger, who was here tonight. I don't know where Pat is. Pat, there you go. Pat, stand up. Pat.
What is that in the background?
That's
What-
the Ukrainian fucking
No,
button.
no, not
That's
the
that.
Ukrainian one. That
Told
one,
me
that
they're ready
dress
to
thing. What
increase
even
their
is that like a gay
investment
flag
from
or something?
20
I think it's like a
billion
Hoya.
to 100
What's
billion.
fucking called Native Americans.
That would be the biggest investment in manufacturing in American history. And all they're waiting for is for you to pass this bill. So let's not wait any longer. Send it to my desk. I'll sign it. And we'll really take off in a big way.
You're great at signing shit, Joe.
And folks,
Like executive orders.
Intel is not alone. There's something happening in America. Just look around and you'll see an amazing story.
Yeah, you can just see the
Rebirth of
decline
pride
death
that
of our
comes from
society right in front of
stamping
you.
products made in America. The revitalization of American manufacturing. Companies are choosing to build new factories here.
No, they're
When
not.
just a few years ago, they would have gone overseas. That's
Yeah,
what's
because what
happening.
Trump did, now they're choosing to go back overseas
Investing
again.
$11 billion in electric vehicles, creating
fuck?
11,000 jobs across the country. GM is making the largest investment in its history, $7 billion to build electric vehicles, creating 4,000 jobs in Michigan. All told, 369,000 new manufacturing jobs were created in America last year alone.
You're so full. You know what? He's riding off this shit of like, hey, us Democrats fucked up the economy because of the COVID restrictions, and I'm not going to bring that up. It's the reason why the economy's bouncing back is
Powered
because
by
of me,
people I've met
not just
like
because of
JoJo
normal shit.
Burgess,
Fuck you.
from generations of union steelworkers in
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
because we literally
Who's
destroyed our
here tonight?
economy for
Where are
2
you,
years
JoJo?
deliberately. Wow.
There you
Yeah.
go. Thanks, buddy.
Wow, really impressive, Joe.
As
Like,
Ohio,
hey, it's bouncing back. Congratulations.
As Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown
you know,
says-
just didn't do shit for the past year.
Is that guy from Seinfeld? Who is this?
as Sherrod Brown says, it's
It looks like
time
fat
to
Steve
bury the
Harvey, like
label
fatter.
Rust
Yeah.
Belt.
With
It's
glasses.
time to see the what used to be called the Rust Belt become the home of significant research.
Oh my
It's called the
god.
Rust Belt
And with
because
all the
you
bright
and a bunch of
spots
other
in our
cronies
economy,
destroyed our industry by shipping it
record
over to
job
China so
growth,
you get more
higher
money.
wages,
Y'all are the
too many
reason why we
families are
voted
struggling to
Republican
keep
in
up with their
2016.
bills.
Just saying.
Inflation
Just fucking saying.
is robbing them of gains they thought otherwise.
Inflation you
they would be
caused by
able to
printing the
feel.
most amount of money
I
ever.
get it. That's why my top priority is getting prices under control. Look,
Oh yeah.
the
really.
economy roared back faster than almost anyone predicted. But the pandemic meant that businesses had a hard time hiring enough people because of the pandemic to keep up
Because of
production in
you,
their factories.
Your
bitch.
back's
So
requirements.
they didn't have people making those beams that went into buildings because they were out. The factory was closed.
Look at Kamala Harris.
The
She looks like
panic
a
also
fucking
disrupted the
assassin.
global supply chain.
She's like waiting on
Factories
that shot.
close. When that happens, it takes longer to make goods and get them to the warehouses, to the stores, and prices go up. Look at cars last year. One-third of all the
Yeah, we
inflation
can't
was
afford them
because of
because of
automobile
your
sales.
decisions.
There weren't enough semiconductors.
I have
to make all the
$4,000
cars
saved
that
up. I
people
can't get a
wanted to
fucking
buy.
car for shit.
And
Fuck
guess
you,
what?
Joe. Fuck
Prices of
you.
automobiles went way up, especially used vehicles as well.
His name is Joe Biden.
How is
He's
that
our nation's
good?
47th
One way to fight
vice
inflation is to drive
president.
down wages and make Americans poor. I think I have a better idea to fight inflation.
Oh,
Lower
let's
your
hear it, Joe.
costs, not your wages.
How
The
about this?
costs have gone up.
Folks,
How about this? How about this? You turn on the Keystone Pipeline, gas prices go down, delivery fees go down.
Facts.
Idea.
That
That's
means
too
make more
that's too much
cars and
common sense there.
semiconductors in America.
We need to import our
More
oil from a country
infrastructure
who
and
hates us.
innovation in
But
America.
that's smart.
How
That's what
about
we're
you-
gonna do.
More goods
How about you
moving
open
faster
Ronald
and
Reagan's
cheaper in
money hole
America.
in fucking New Mexico?
More jobs
Just
where you can earn
burn
a
your
good living
excess
in
inflated
America.
money. You cunt.
Instead of relying on foreign supply chains, let's make it in America.
Let's just have you shut the fuck
Look.
up.
Economists.
Hey, is the inflation going to benefit those 13 Americans you let die in Afghanistan, Joe? Oh, right.
Oh,
we forgot about
whoa,
that.
okay. Too soon.
No way the Dems are chanting USA.
Economists.
There's no way.
I thought the USA was
All this
horrible and
increasing
evil,
the
right?
productive capacity of our economy.
Yeah.
It's so hypocritical,
I call
guys.
it building a better America.
Oh my fucking god.
My plan.
Yeah, we can
to
sure
fight
see it,
inflation
Joe.
will lower your cost and lower the deficit. 17
fuck
Nobel
are you
laureates
talking
in
long-term
economics said my plan will ease
Prices
long-term
are going up
inflation and
everywhere.
pressure.
What are you talking about?
Top business leaders, and I believe most Americans support the plan. And here's the plan. First,
This is
cut
for
the
my
cost of
friends who
prescription
got me
drugs.
elected.
Okay, I'm a little fucked up.
We
What?
pay
Like,
more
am I like
for the
seeing this
same
and I'm
drug
hitting this good?
produced by the same company in America than any other country in the world. Just look at insulin. 1 in 10 Americans has diabetes. In Virginia,
How
I
about
have
we
a
stop
13-year-old
funding like
boy, the
corn and
handsome
soy
young
then?
man standing up
Fast
there,
food, Joe.
Joshua Davis.
Oh wait, you're
Hey,
too idiot.
Joe, remember when insulin prices were $50
He
and
and
then
his
right
dad
after you
both
took
have
office,
type
you
1
banned the fucking
diabetes.
bill that Trump made to lower the
Which
price,
means
and then it
they
went up to
need insulin
5,000.
every single
Fuck
day.
you. The fuck do you mean insulin?
Insulin costs about $10 a vial to make.
Joe.
That's what it costs the pharmaceutical company.
Who donated to your campaign again, Joe?
Drug
Oh
companies
wait, it was for
charge families like Joshua and his dad up to 30 times that amount. I spoke with Joshua's mom. Imagine what it's like to look at your child who needs insulin to stay healthy and have no idea how in God's name you're going to be able to pay for it. What
Well,
it
you
does to your
fucked that up
family,
for him, didn't
but what
you?
it does to your dignity.
Oh yeah, Joe.
Your ability to look your child in the eye. To be the parent you expect yourself to
Oh,
be.
I'm so glad you're looking
I
away,
really
Nancy.
mean to think
little
about that. That's what I think about.
Nancy's
know,
just laughing.
Yesterday, Joshua's here tonight,
Yeah,
but
they don't
yesterday
care
was
about
his
this.
birthday.
They're billionaires.
Happy
They
birthday,
couldn't care
buddy,
about
by
you
the way.
peasants.
Fuck you, plebs.
For Joshua and 200,000 other young people with type 1 diabetes, let's cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month. So everyone can afford it.
Well, I agree
And
with the
drug
prices.
companies will do very, very well. Their profit margin. While we're at it, I know we have great disagreements on this floor with this. Let's let Medicare negotiate the price of prescription drugs.
Oh my god, look how Nancy Pelosi smells at that shit.
They already set the price for VA drugs. Look, the American Rescue Plan is helping millions of families with Affordable Care Act plans to save them $2,400 a year on their health premiums. Let's close the coverage gap and make these savings permanent.
Oh my fucking
Second.
god, you stupid bitch. They were great. And then we fucked them up.
Let's cut energy costs for families.
Oh
$500
yeah,
a
Joe.
year by
You're
combating climate
so
change.
great on
Let's
that.
provide an investment tax credits to weatherize your home and your business.
Joe,
To be
open
energy
the Keystone
efficient and
Pipeline.
get a tax credit for it.
No,
Double
no,
America's
you see
clean
what
energy
he's saying?
production
He's
in
saying
solar, wind,
plebs,
and so
but don't
much
worry about your
more.
gas prices.
Lower the
Just
price
get
of
more
electric vehicles,
windmills and
saving
solar
another
panels.
$80 a month.
That's
that you
Get
don't
your
have to pay
fucking,
at the pump.
get your Cobalt
Folks.
battery electric cars, not Teslas. Get your fucking.
The third thing we can do to change the standard of living for hardworking folks is cut the cost of childcare. Cut the cost of
Let's
childcare.
just do that. No, don't ask where the money came from.
Folks, if you live in a major city in America, you pay up to $14,000 a year for childcare per child.
That's not true.
I was a single dad for 5 years, raising 2 kids. I had a lot of help, though.
I can see
I had a
why
mom
you'd be
and dad,
single.
a brother and a sister that really helped.
who are
Middle
addicted
class
to
and working
cocaine, so
folks
they didn't turn out very
shouldn't
well.
have to pay more than 7% of their income to care for the young children.
Oh my
plan-
god.
I agree with a lot of what he's saying, but like, he's just
He caused
spitballing.
most of the issues that he's complaining
Yeah, exactly. I
about.
agree with what he's saying, but he caused most of the issues. So there's like no point.
Like day one,
And
we
also
found
half
out-
this shit is lies anyway, so it's like
to be able to get back to work, generating economic growth. But my plan doesn't stop there. It also includes home and long-term care, more affordable housing, pre-K for 3 and 4-year-olds.
Pre-K
All
so they
these
can
will
learn
lower
about how to be
costs for
trans.
families.
Remember
Under
that,
my
kids.
plan, nobody, let me say this again, nobody earning less than $400,000 a year will pay an additional penny in new taxes. Not a
This is
single
bullshit.
penny.
This has been debunked like 50 billion times, Joe. Before you even elected, this was debunked.
I may be wrong, but my guess is if
Taxes
we took a
went
secret
up
ballot in this
for the middle
floor,
class.
like
that
way
we'd
the
all
fuck up.
agree that the present tax system ain't fair.
Oh yeah, Joe.
We have to fix it.
You really feel
Uh-huh.
I'm not looking to punish anybody. But let's make corporations and wealthy Americans start paying their fair share.
Oh yeah, the
Look,
fair share of
Last
the
year,
loopholes
Of course,
that you
Warren's
created.
fucking clapping.
last year, like Chris Coons and Tom Carper and my distinguished Congresswoman, we come from the land of corporate America. There are
You
more
come from
corporations
Delaware, which is
incorporated in
basically a
America than
fraud
every
state.
other state in America
A tax
combined.
haven.
And I still won 36 years in a row.
Most people don't even know where
Point
Delaware
is,
is on the map.
Even they understand. they
Yeah,
should
I only
pay
do because
just
like
a fair
I
share.
give a fuck about
Last year,
geography or
55
whatever.
of the Fortune 500 companies earned
That's pretty sad,
$40
actually,
billion
for
in
Americans.
profit and paid zero in federal taxes. Now look, it's not fair.
Those are because of loopholes
why
that you
Boo.
instituted. You and your party,
What the
Joe.
fuck?
Are you gonna talk about those loopholes that you instituted? You and Obama,
that's
you remember
why
those, Joe?
In the G7 and other meetings overseas, we're able to put together, I was able to be somewhat helpful. 130 countries agree on a global minimum tax rate. So companies can't get out of paying their taxes at home by shipping jobs and factories overseas.
Except that they're
It'll
going to
raise
continue to do that.
billions of dollars. That's why I propose closing loopholes for the very wealthy who who pay a lower tax rate than a teacher and a firefighter. So that's my plan, but we'll go more detail later. We will grow the economy, lower the cost of families. So
I mean, it can't
what
get
are we
any
waiting
lower.
for? Let's get this done. We all know we've got to make changes.
God, look at his face. Look how like unaware he looks. He looks like he's scanning the fucking room like Terminator.
He probably doesn't even know where he
While
is.
you're
to be
at
honest
it,
with you.
Totally.
confirm my nominees for the Federal Reserve, which plays a critical role.
Now, the Federal Reserve
fighting
can't blame for much of
inflation.
our problems, Joe, that you
My
caused.
plan will not only
for
lower
printing
costs
so much
and
money.
give families a fair shot, it will lower the deficit. The
Lower
previous
the
administration
deficit,
not only
okay.
ballooned the deficit with those tax
The
cuts for the very
deficit.
wealthy and corporations.
Yeah.
One of the many words
Undermine the
Joe knows.
watchdogs, the job of those to keep pandemic relief funds being wasted. Remember we had those debates about whether or not those watchdogs should be able to see every day how much money was being spent, where was it going to the right place? But in my administration, the watchdogs are back.
That's crazy.
And we're going to go after
right.
the criminals who stole
The New York
billions
Times
of
covering
relief
it, so
money
that's a win.
meant for small business and millions of Americans. Tonight, I'm announcing that the Justice Department will soon name a chief prosecutor for pandemic fraud. And look,
Hey, at least we all got free crack
We can all agree.
pipes, right, guys? So it
by
was
the end
worth
of
it.
this
Yeah,
year, the
totally,
deficit will
'cause
be down
Chicago
less
couldn't
than
get any
half of what
worse.
it was before I took office.
Crack pipes were worth
The
it.
only president ever to cut the deficit by more than
Swear to God, I
$1
had to
trillion
outrun a
in a single
crackhead
year.
just to get away from the fucking supermarket.
Lowering your cost
Yeah.
also meant demanding more competition. I'm a capitalist, but
Demanding more
capitalism without
Bullshit.
competition, getting rid of all the
is
small
not
businesses that you
capitalism.
destroyed with the pandemic. Yeah,
Capitalism
Joe.
without competition is exploitation. It drives up
Which is what we
profits.
have right now because of you.
He gives me like low-key Stalin vibes.
Corporations have to compete. Their profits go up and your prices go up when they don't have to compete. Small
What the
businesses and
fuck?
family
No.
farmers and ranchers, I need not tell
This
some of my
isn't true.
Republican friends from those states.
When they have to
Guess
compete,
what?
they want to get more
You got 4
customers.
basic meat packing
They have to
facilities.
pay their workers a living
That's
wage,
it.
but they're not going to
You
do
play
that
with them, but you
while
don't
you
get to
give them
play
more
at
money
all.
by destroying the
And you pay a
competition,
hell of a
Joe.
lot more. A hell of
It's
a
called a
lot more than you
monopoly,
went for.
bitch. You son of a-
See what's happening
All
with
right, guys.
ocean carriers.
Unfortunately, we have to end the
They're moving goods in
broadcast
and out
here.
of
I want to
America.
thank everyone who tuned in.
During the
We
pandemic,
didn't get the result we wanted in the
about
primary,
half
but
a
that's all
dozen
right.
less
And we got to watch
foreign-owned
the State of the
companies
Union,
raised
which is
prices by as much as
it's always a fun event to
1,000%.
watch in terms of the
and
political
made
world.
record
This one's kind of
really.
bullshit, but
Tonight,
it's always
Yeah,
something fun to
thank
watch.
you.
I highly
crackdown
encourage
on
all
those
of you to
companies
continue watching it
overcharging
after we end the
American
stream.
businesses and
I sure
consumers.
am. So thank you
Folks.
to my guests for coming on. Thank you everyone who tuned in to watch
Yay.
this. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you all in the next video, which should be out sometime very soon this week. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you all
When
have a
these
great
Wall
night.
Street firms take over more
Bye, y'all.